What's up, y'all boys? I'll be going over my trading recap from today. Sorry for no trading recaps for a while. It's just been really busy. And also I've just not been taking any trades really because of price action. It's been really bad, but I took one today, Monday, February 17th, and I also took one off on Friday. We had good setups, but I'll be going over today's price action and my trade from today. So basically, as we can see, we have many 1 hour draws in liquidity. We have these 1 hour draws in liquidity, and then we also have these 1 hour draws in liquidity. Okay, so we can see market open. We had a huge sell-off, and then from here, I was just looking for entries because overall bias was longs. We were bullish on the 4 hour. We were still bullish on the 4 hour, and then we were obviously bearish on the 1 hour. But for me, that was just a typical sign that we were probably just in a 1 hour retracement at the time, or 4 hour retracement at the time. So, yeah, like I said, we had this huge candle to the downside. We swept liquidity, and then on the 5 minute, like I said, I was looking for entries to take longs, and so we ended up breaking structure right here on this candle right here. And then we had a 5 minute breaker block. We come down, we retrace into this 5 minute breaker block. And then after we get a retrace with that 5 minute or breaker block, we end up breaking structure to the upside. Right about here, we were continuously moving up. We finally got a break of structure. And for me, right, I entered 3 contracts. Okay. And then let's see. Okay. And then I took off 2 contracts at this fair value gap up here. So I took 2 contracts off and then left one runner up until this draw on liquidity. We did not end up coming up to hit that draw on liquidity. And I ended up closing out my last contract once we inverse this fair value gap on this candle right here. I ended up actually closing it out within this candle. Just simply because it seemed like we were gonna close below it. I know we still might not close below it, and it could just be a wick, but honestly, as for me, we were all the way like down to here. We had already made this huge or this wick to the downside. I just did not see us coming down up any or coming up any higher, um or even wicking this fair value gap to continue higher. I just did not see that happening. So I ended up closing out within here, and they both positions ended up being profitable. The first 2 contracts and the second singular contract, both positions ended up in profit. Um, but yeah, boys. Obviously, today was President's Day. Markets closed at 1. And so, but yeah, that's basically just my trading recap from today. Also, one thing I wanted to point out was I mentioned this in a prior video, how a lot of the times when we are in an uptrend and we are seeking to take out liquidity, what will happen a lot of times is we will get a retrace on the higher time frame before sweeping liquidity. And so today was more so of a different story because today was President's Day. We obviously came down into this 15-minute fair value gap. That was our retrace on the higher time frame. And I saw us continuing higher to sweep liquidity, but obviously we opened here at 6 p.m. Asian session. And so as for me, right, like when it's Asian session, you can't really expect much from that. If this continued to be New York session, this is still New York session. This is still New York session. And so if this continued being New York session price action, I would expect us to come up and sweep this 1 hour drawn liquidity, which obviously it seems like we're going to come up and sweep this 1 hour drawn liquidity. But yeah, boys, that's basically just my trading recap from today. Very clean price action. Again, just 5 minute or liquidity sweep on the higher time frame. 5 minute breaker block or 5 minute break of structure to the upside, 5 minute breaker block retracement, and then 1 minute break of structure to the upside as our continuation confluence. And we just targeted a fair value gap within here. Obviously, we had a fair value gap in here, but I entered while we were in this fair value gap already. I had pretty good stops at the time, and so yes, this trade idea could have been invalidated if we had just respected this fair value gap and came down, but I took my risk today, and um I really just saw was inversing this fair value gap to target a higher time frame because we were bullish on the 1 hour, and so that was a risk I was willing to take. And I think I would do it again. And so that's just a trading recap from today, boys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.